What's going on, party people? My name is Solomon. I am an artist, and thus I go by Solomon the Artist. You know, I have usually, even if I have it not planned out, I usually have some sort of inkling of what it is that I want to speak about when I turn on this camera. And this time around, I have none. Like, I just feel like I am in Georgia and I should be taking advantage of the opportunity that I have to not be bothered by anyone and just film stuff and try to build this YouTube channel like I've always wanted to do. But I genuinely have no idea what to speak about, which is funny because in New York I literally had it planned, like I'm gonna get to Georgia and I'm gonna talk about this and that and that and this and this and that. And I've done some of those videos, but for some reason, I guess in my mind, the list seemed much longer, and it's just, now I'm just at a standstill. I don't know what to, well, you know what? After I just said I don't know what to talk about. I actually just got off the phone with my cousin a couple of minutes ago, and it's interesting. She hit me up because, well, she hit me up because of Instagram. You know, I posted some pictures of, you know, my hair. You know, I've got some dreads on the back of my head right now, and she was just confused because, you know, people believe that the dreads are mine. They do look real, you know. The person who did my hair did a fantastic job, and so, and I'll link his Instagram below or somewhere in the screen, whatever. So she hit me up about that, and we just were conversing about a bunch of stuff, which I'll hold some of that stuff in because that's just personal stuff. But at one point we were talking about you know, where we are in life in respect to being sort of, she and I are in similar situations in respect to being sort of the unofficial caretaker to certain family members. And so I didn't bring up the video I did here on YouTube about deciding to be single and content, but, you know, part of the reason I did that video is because it was to just sort of solidify where I stand as a single man in the world right now. But it's something I've thought about for a while because, you know, the way my life is set up, like my focus is on Christ, on being a caretaker, and on trying to build a career for myself. And so, you know, a relationship is just not gonna be second or even third, you know, and I just feel like that wouldn't be fair to any young woman who happens to take an interest in me, you know? So she and I were speaking, my cousin and I, and she was talking about how she just got so lucky because her boyfriend now just, you know, he just happened to come into the picture when she just decided she was gonna stop looking, and he's just so grand. He helps her with her family stuff, and, you know, he's like always, he's unreal, the way she described him, basically. And I'm happy for her. He came at just the right time. And I was telling her, well, you know, for me, it's the other way around. You know, it's sort of a, what's the term? A double standard, if you will. You know, it's not that this dude, he's supposed to step in as a man and just take on certain responsibilities. It's not like they married or anything, but it's what is expected, you know, especially for us coming from a Jamaican background. For me, while I'm sure there are women out there who would step into my life and be able to mesh themselves appropriately, there's a big part of me that just feels like it's not fair to accept that. I don't expect it, but, you know, even though the opportunity is there and it could present itself, I just don't feel right accepting that. You know, there's a lot going on in my life, and there's a lot to take on if you step into my life, just as, you know, if I stepped into your life, whoever you are out there, you know, I would, if I'm deciding to build a relationship with you and I genuinely am growing a love for you, whatever is going on, I'm gonna step into that and hold it up with you, because that's just what you're supposed to do. But I just feel like I have a lot, that I'm carrying a lot, and I just don't feel right sharing that load with any woman. You know, I feel like if I'm getting into a relationship with a woman, I should be able to offer some sort of support. And I know that's like pushing an old stereotype, but still, you know, regardless of the stereotype, whether it's me giving to her or her giving to me, there's some sort of support that should be coming back and forth. And I just believe that I'd be requiring more support than I can give. So in that case, I just feel like it's not right for me to look, you know. And that's not me saying that that's the only reason why I decided I'm happy and single. You know, the other part is that I want to focus on myself. I want to build up myself. I want to build up my career. I want to do things first. I want to prep myself to be good. And that's not necessarily just financially, but just in general. I just want to prep myself to be content within myself before I move forward in any way, shape, or form. However, going back to my cousin, you know, I was trying to tell her this, and she was saying, you know, no, but you deserve to have a woman who appreciates you and, you know, accepts what's going on in your life. And women like that are out there, but you've got to be willing to look. And so I said to her, well, yeah, but we're in the middle of a pandemic. You know, I can't bring anybody, you know, into my household and such, you know. and again, even if not even looking at that part, we're in the middle of a pandemic. How are you really gonna meet people comfortably and appropriately, you know? And then she said, well, what about meeting somebody at church? I'm like, not that many churches are open because there's a pandemic going on, you know? And I realize, as I'm saying this, it sounds like I'm making excuses, and that's not the case. It's just me trying to be a realist and just not really being able to get past where I am right now. But then she said something else to me that was really interesting, and I never thought about it and never really noticed it. But she said there's a theme in our family, primarily with the men. You know, we tend to be a little more soft. The men, we tend to be a little, on my mom's side in particular, we tend to be very soft-spoken. Not saying that we are necessarily rugs that people walk all over, but we are not the most combative men out there, you know. We're very laid back, as she put it. And she's right, I'm very laid back. Like, I'm not really interested in arguing with anybody. If I say 2 + 2 is 4 and you say it's 5, okay. And I just leave it at that. It doesn't mean I agree with you. That just means it is what it is, and let's move on to something else, you know. And so she's right about that. And she says what happens with that is that one of two things happens from there on. The men either find or need to find a strong backboned woman who can take the lead, but also knows how to sort of maneuver us to the forefront, because it's not that we can't or won't or don't want to take the lead, it's just that we're laid back. You know, why do more work than we have to? But she said it's either that or the men in our family, they just end up alone, you know, might deal with some depression or something, I don't know. And again, she's right, because when I think about some of my, you know, my uncles and things like that, you know, it's a real thing. She's absolutely right. I can't argue with that. And it's so funny, like, removing everything she just said, it's like, it's interesting, like, people have this thing about them, like, I'm so happy that people find me to be such a good or decent person that they feel that somebody has to experience me as a husband. Somebody needs to, you know, ensure that I become a father. You know, I feel thankful and amazed that that's how people feel. But that doesn't mean that I have to be a husband, or that I have to be, although I want to be a dad. I've said it in the video already, you know, I would still want to be a dad even if I don't get married, you know. But it's just, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video. This is me just kind of talking out of my behind a little bit. And I don't even know where to go from there. I don't know what to think, how to feel. Like, I'm still in that place of feeling content in being single and happy, because that's how I am right now. That's how I feel, you know? It's like the only way I can describe it is, you know, like, now that I took that aspect of life off the table for the time being, I don't know if it's forever. I don't know if it's until. I don't know if things will change when I happen to meet the woman of my dreams or something. I don't know. But I'm in this place where I removed the seeking of romance off the table, and everything else just sort of collapsed into place, you know? That doesn't mean that everything is necessarily simple or easy, but everything just sort of makes sense. You know, there's a way less stress, you know? I don't feel like I'm constantly trying to do all of these things, but somehow still try to make all these things look somewhat pretty in case I meet this pretty girl who happens to walk into the picture. You know, now I feel like I can just let things be and just take care of them accordingly, and when things get done, then things get done, you know? I hope that's making sense. I don't know. But yeah, at this point I feel like I'm just kind of talking in circles, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna just end this one right here. I guess I had a video after all. But yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. You know, really, I do appreciate, say something in the comment section. How do y'all feel? Does anybody have these kind of thoughts or feel like this? You know, sometimes, and I don't know why people will watch the videos, but then they'll shoot me a DM on Instagram. You know, I mean, I appreciate it. I'm happy to garner followers on Instagram, but you can subscribe here too. It's not gonna cost you anything. You can write a little something on the comment section. No one's gonna, you know, make fun of you or anything. I don't know. But either way, please comment, like, share, tell people to come watch some of these videos. You know, dislike if you so choose. Doesn't matter to me. You know, just interact. You know, I wanna know what people think. I really want my channel to just be a natural conversation, so to speak. Like, I literally mean it. When I do these videos, I often want to feel like I'm just sitting in a cafe having a cup of coffee and eating a donut with, you know, the homie, you know? But yeah, but again, I'm gonna end this here. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Peace.